But that's not to say that I don't leave finals not disappointed when I don't, get a medal.
Like, do you?
I mean, I know that people think that like I'm this emotionless person.
Actually, that's pretty interesting, because when I compete, I actually have a very different
You're hyper aware.
approach. I'm hyper aware.
Yeah, I'm not.
You just kind of flow.
Like I will look at a bowler, I will have an idea of what I want to do, and if things don't go according to plan, but I still end up topping out the route, that's just my body adapting by itself. That's what I feel, because I'm not usually that hyper aware. I'm not hyper aware when I climb.
Or like that's sick, man. Because like for myself, I think it's cost me too much. Like
Being hyper aware.
No. Like going like by feeling.
Oh, okay.
Like because you're kind of constrained by time, right?
Yeah.
So the moment you mess up something, and if there's something cost you all your energy,
Yeah.
which was maybe an issue that you could have avoided if you just sat there for a little bit more and thought a little bit more, then yeah, like that situation has costed me so many times, right? That it kind of like the only way for me to create consistency for myself was really just to
and
think things through properly, and then like move ahead a little bit more methodically.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between me and you. That's why you have that consistency. Like I go on feeling, so like if it's a day where I'm not feeling good, then
It's a
like,
good
that's
day,
it.
then
yeah,
you'll
for
crush it.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, lor. I guess it's just it's just a difference of climbing approaches. Like because I'm that way in the gym as well. So I try to I figure out this problem, and then I try to rectify it by practicing it every day in the gym, so it becomes second nature to me. Yeah, but I guess for yourself, like you've never put that kind of like pressure on yourself. Like you just like chill.
Yeah.
As long as I try hard and I learn something, and then it's good for me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not to say that I don't leave finals not disappointed when I don't, get a medal.
Like, do you?
I mean, I know that people think that like I'm this emotionless person, but yeah, I do get very disappointed when I don't achieve in a competition, and I compartmentalize it. I keep it to myself. There's been like after a few comms where like I keep going back to like a specific mistake that I make, and like that keeps me up sometimes.
Yep.
Back in the day, not anymore.
Back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, haven't you ever felt the need to like patch that? Like, okay, like for example, like there was this particular comp where I didn't see the sidewall, and it's like, how can I not see that the sidewall is not taped up? And I will never forget to look at the sidewall and see whether it's taped up. Yeah. So like things like that, like small steps forward to make you a more complete competitor.
I think at this point, I've forgotten a lot of those moments. Like the one memory that I remember where I didn't see holes or didn't see a sidewall was actually the first time I went to Asian Champs.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed like 3 screw-on holes.
How?
But I topped the route. I flashed it.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, so like that's a good memory to keep, I feel like, and I guess reflecting on that, I feel like it's a good thing that I don't remember all the bad, like the mistakes that kept me up for nights. Anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go home and then like I'll come back and then I won't sleep tonight.
So like if you do know that you get disappointed, then like what's the reason you still stick to that flow state climbing?
I think it's easy for me to attribute it to like not being strong enough or good enough.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
I'm still struggling on my one-arm pull-ups. I think that's like a good.
I think when Andra sent his first 9A, he also couldn't do a one pull-up.
Andra is lying.
That's why you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, when you're in a group of competitors where everybody is just you see the physical strength in everybody else. From my perspective, I always felt like I was one of the weaker climbers. Yeah, and like, I'm not particularly good at like specific movements or specific aspects of competition climbing. I just feel like I have enough to make it work, but it has to be a good day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely get you. Get you. Yeah, because at times I do feel like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have super strong fingers. I can't hang one hand off the beast maker, which is like benchmark apparently. I still can't do that. I mean, like, there was a point in time when I could do that, but I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you do have like really good mobility and things like that, right? That like it really works for you, you know, like your ability to activate when you are at certain angles, things like that.
Yeah, I think like I only discovered that in climbing, because when you're on the wall and you have a goal, then you start to realize like what your body can kind of do.
Yep.
And like a lot of it, I feel a lot of it is compensatory lah.
Yeah. Or
for
or
lack of
complementary.
strength.
Or
Yeah. I mean, like, you can view it from both sides.
Yep.
And it's a toss up between both.
Like what in my opinion, I think one of the reasons why the Japanese climbers are so outstanding is because they are strong and they are mobile.
Yeah.
Like they can do like super high heels and then they can really activate it from there. Whereas like people like us maybe have to pull a little bit higher, things like that. Yeah, and then you lose contact on like certain holes. Yeah, like which is quite insane lah. And it's something that we are still discovering. Yeah. The real value that it like adds to your climbing, you know. Yeah. So like we have talked about the newer climbers, and then like how you felt when you were newer. So like what is some advice that you will give to either your younger self or people who are just starting out, right? As to like it can be anything. It can be things like longevity. It can be things like how to get strong, how do you view climbing, things like that. Because I think I'm not wrong to say that most climbers who are very involved in the sport, right? It's almost like a religion, you know. It's like a lifestyle, like more so than an activity.
Yeah, that's why I said like climbing gave my life a philosophy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm sure like that applies in some sense for a lot of people who really like got into climbing. Yeah, in some ways, climbing kind of like directs your life. Like
it does.
Everything revolves around climbing.
Yeah. And like, do you feel like climbing kept you out of trouble?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like there was always climbing for me to turn to.
Like because you have climbing and you invested so much time, it gave you less time to get into trouble outside, you know, like in your personal life, like mixing around in the wrong company.
You know, the investing time part, like me investing time in climbing wasn't a conscious decision. It was just so natural.
It's never. It's never.
So like you don't even think about like all these trouble things.
Oh yeah, it really came to me because my secondary school like environment wasn't great. Yeah, so like the fact that I was so invested, like in fact my principal was in contact with one of my friends, because my friend is a coach at the school that the principal got posted to. So my principal, right, got posted to another secondary school because my school closed down, and she's the coach of that school. And my principal actually told her that I'm very lucky to have climbing, because if I wasn't in climbing, he can see me getting into a lot of trouble. Yeah, which I feel like it is the case for I think a substantial bunch of people lah. Like the role that climbing plays in their life, right? It's more than it seems. and I think it surrounds you with all the right people, like because like not so much, but like generally I think people who are invested in the sport, they tend not to have like time and energy to like mess around in like like not so good
I mean,
stuff.
like, I'm sure there are people like who would stray into like vices or whatever, but like for me, climbing always had that gravitational pull. Like, I will always gravitate back to it, so it kept me in a radius of sorts. So I never went out too far because I always wanted to come back. Yeah.
Take a long break, come back. Take a long break, come back. Yep, that's your life, right? Basically.
No, like, even like when I talk about taking breaks, it doesn't mean that I don't think about climbing.
Oh,
like,
really?
Climbing is always in my head. Yeah.
I see. There's one thing that I want to talk about. I just had it. Ah.
I think that's quite an interesting growing up story for like for you lah. Yeah, because I started in poly. Like, I was already, I guess I was kind of already defining myself as a person.
Yep.
And then like climbing just took that to like took whoever I was to become just a climber.
Yeah. Like it kind of like molded my growing years, which is great lah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you. Okay, like this is the time where you can be completely honest, right? Because the person that you will be attacking is me lah. Yeah. So like what were your views when I was young? I don't know if like when you started to notice me, but when I was really young, from what I can remember, I was known for being a reckless climber and falling dangerously, and being mindless.
I never noticed that falling dangerous bit, but I felt like you were reckless because you had a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
And
I
you
still do.
still wanted to push yourself. Like, I remember the state of your fingers. That was crazy. Yeah. Like, I admired the dedication, but like I felt like, and this is true for, I feel like, a lot of maybe newer climbers, but that would take back to like falling dangerously. It's not so much about falling dangerously, it's more of like not knowing how to fall.
Yeah. Or like taking unnecessary risks.
Yeah. Like, on the topic of risks, like in the climbing gym, if I'm doing like the hardest, most Instagrammable like hard route there is, if I don't feel safe, or like I feel like I cannot bail out of a move and land safely, I'm not gonna do the move. It's a gym setting. It's like
Not even for the gram, right? Not even for the gram.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Like I saw a story the other day, right?
Yeah.
About falling and bailing on the moves.
Yeah. That was like, my heart really jumped when my hand slipped off.
Yep.
And then like the reaction was to like that second tap was to push my weight so that I correct myself.
Yep.
To fall.
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't know how to teach this kind of like reactions, but like I feel like people can be more discerning when they are attempting a climb.
Yep.
Especially if you're new and you're doing it for fun, like it's
Like
it's
people
not
running
worth
below
it.
you and things
it's
like
not
that,
worth
right?
it to take like a bad fall, sprain your ankle, or even worse, and like be away from the sport that you want to do for a couple weeks, couple months. It's not worth it.
Yep. And I don't know if it's just me or am I really getting paranoid, but I've seen a increased rate in freak accidents in the gym in recent times. And it's kind of like, I don't know whether is it just because there's a bigger pool of people, so the risk is higher, like the chance of getting, or like something like that. But I don't remember so many accidents back then. But now it's like every week there's someone breaking their elbow, like dislocating this, dislocating that.
Every week.
It's really every week.
I'm lucky I haven't seen that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, Boulder World's been pretty alright on the days that I'm there. B+ has been, so far I haven't seen anything bad.
Yeah, like at every gym, right, I can kind of recall like 1 or 2 accidents that I've seen right in front of me. Yeah, and I feel like is it really that, like, maybe it's the setting, or
I think like for me, I feel like it really is about like how the climber is feeling, and they are usually not aware of the risk.
Mm.
And when you have a group of people behind you, maybe a group of friends like egging you on to keep you going,
that's
it
the
gets
stuff.
even worse.
Yeah.
So now when I'm actually in the gym and I feel like this person might not know how to fall or like make the move,
Yep.
I will actually say like, hey, if you don't feel safe, you
Just bail.
just bail.
Yeah.
Don't
It's not
don't
worth it,
risk it.
right?
Yeah, come back down, like recompose yourself, and
Yep.
then like think of what you want to do when you get there.
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
that's like I've seen gyms like when you come as a first timer, they take you for a fall practice.
Mm.
I think that's a good start.
It is.
But you need to kind of make them aware that like there are consequences to falling wrongly and like how to be more discerning when they are on the climbs itself.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, and then, oh yeah. In the last few years, there's been like this wave of like board climbing. You know, like kilter board, moon board. Yeah, maybe in the last 3-4 years only. Yeah, like what are your views on board? Like, or like, do you personally like climbing on boards?
I think it's a very useful tool, and I'm actually going to get into it a bit more. Yeah, like I was planning like a weekly session at Boulder World
For the kilter?
for the kilter board, just because it's bigger. But I think I will also do the moon board because that's great for finger strength.
It is.
But like that kind of got derailed because there's a comp going on and it's at
It's a comp.
at Boulder World, a kilter comp.
Oh, like yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's at an angle that I'm not really psyched to climb on.
Yep.
So I'm waiting for it to.
Then just go Lighthouse, man. I mean, like, no product placement, but yeah.
No, like I would totally go to Lighthouse, but like I have season pass at Boulder World.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So okay, like this is the last bit that I want to get into, talking about personal life. Yeah, like I feel like it's just like what you said just now. Like you are known for being this like cold guy, and I just think like innately the way you look, right? It's just like when you walk into the gym, like there's this like aura around you, just like don't mess with me, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, and I think it's just like a resting bitch face, like so to speak, where it's like.
I think you guys should come to Boulder World Monday 7:30.
when you and Latif are around.
And see like what I'm really like in climbing gyms. Like this is going back to my time in SP where I'm not sure even if my SP peers would remember, but like I was actually really loud.
Really?
Like just loud and having fun.
Yeah, like cause like now you're kind of quiet, and then out of the blue you just explode. Like when you can't do a route, and then you just shout or something. That everyone's like, whoa.
No, but like even when I shout, right? Like even when I'm like seriously climbing and I shout, it's really kind of for comic relief. But I guess I don't have the same effect as like, you know, Marcus shouting.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah,
But Marcus is comical on his own.
But like, yeah, Marcus is comical as a person. But like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me, like when I shout after a serious attempt, it's not like, it's not frustration or anything. It's just like I just want to shout.
It's just why not, right? Yeah. So I mean, like you guys heard it, right? So, like to those people that I say that, as in like that, they are like afraid to like approach you, right?
Yeah.
Like what would you like to say to like this group of people, you know? So like you can open yourself up a little bit.
I mean, I'm working on like changing that perspective of me, and like one of the, I don't deny that I can be that person. Like one of the things that I'm doing is actually initiating the conversation.
That's great. Yeah.
So for like when we are waiting at the same wall, or like maybe even give, I guess like a good way to start it off is like
to give tips, right?
Give tips or like, hey, why don't you go first?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That just talking directly to somebody else, I guess, humanizes me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so yeah, like back to the personal life thing, right? Um, I'm, I understand that you have been quite public with, your relationship with your mom. Yeah, like did you and your mom have a like a troubling phase,
No, like
or something?
it's just the way my family grew up. Like we were never close, kind of thing. Yeah.
But there was no real conflict.
No, there was no conflict.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the way that we kind of grew up. Like there were so many people in the house. I have 5 other siblings. So
Oh, you have 5 siblings?
yeah,
I see.
I have 4 brothers and 1 sister.
So if I see another Kasban, I can safely assume that that's your
Pretty
sibling.
much, yeah. I get that a lot. Like somebody will ask me like, "Hey, this person with a Kasban last name, is this your?" Yeah, that's my sibling.
I've actually seen one around. I forgot on whose Instagram. Yeah, I'll check in on you. But yeah, so on like the whole idea of personal life, right? How much do you feel that personal life actually affects your climbing and affects how you think of the sport, like your mood when you come into the gym? Can you compartmentalize the two, you know? And like, cause I know that you're quite a private person, like for your personal life. Yeah. So yeah, like how much does personal life like affect climbing for you?
I think it's very different on different days. Yeah, like if I was like when I was training for competitions and stuff, like the moment I step into the gym, everything is left behind. Yeah, everything else is left behind. Yeah, like I read some like mental books about finding ways to trigger like a change in mindset. So like one of those was like either the moment you step into the gym or the moment where you change into your climbing clothes. So like for me, that's why it's quite a ritual to not arrive at the gym in my climbing gear.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the moment I change, it's kind of like changing costume. To like, not really a superhero, but like
Yeah.
I become a climber when I make that change.
And like you have, like there's always been something that you had no troubles with, like mixing personal like life that, like
Yeah, I mean like
with your climbing.
sometimes I feel like even climbing helps with the personal life. You know, like you get such a rush from like doing the sport that after it you feel like maybe your troubles are not that big, you know. I think this is common across many different sports because I feel the same way when I have a good run also. Yeah, so but like climbing is still my main sport, so
Yeah, but I mean it's kind of like which comes first, right? Is, let's say like if you, like for example, if you lost a lot of money in the stock market or something, you come to a gym, you have no headspace to think about anything.
yeah.
Like with every move you do, the only thing you can think about is that, oh, I lost X amount of money, right? And then you can't even get that good run that you're talking about. That, like, you know.
Wow, that's a bit hard.
Right.
I guess I've been close to that. I think the closest I've been to that state is like when I have a planned climbing day and like something goes bad and then I end up like I don't want to go and climb, but I still show up at the gym. At the end of that session, I still feel better. Yeah, that's how it is for me because like yeah, rather than like I feel like going there is already a big step. Into helping yourself.
Like there's this like overarching theme of like symbolism, right? It's like you are talking about like changing clothes and then like taking a step out just to do something, and like that kind of triggers some like emotional response or mental response, right? Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. I've actually never really thought about that. I've never really done that, and I've always let like my emotions get the better of me. So like whenever I step into the gym, it's kind of like the gym is always my happy place, you know. Yeah, and I hate when I have to rage climb. Like I hate it because it like kind of like destroys this image of my happy place, you know. So to close things off, where do you see yourself, like say 5-10 years from now? Like do you still see yourself on this journey to contribute to the scene, things like that? You know.
Yeah, for sure. Like one of the things that I hope to do is have a more inclusive community, and like kind of feel like it. I mean, it starts with not really me, but like people in my generation, or like the ones who.
Like the pioneers, like so to speak.
I'm not really a pioneer, but like the people who've been around, yeah, who've been around and like kind of in the forefront of the sport, I guess. Yeah, I think it starts there. Yeah, so I hopefully will get to know more people, and like because like the more you get to know people in the community, the more it shapes your idea of like where the community is going.
Yep.
Yeah, and like, you can even be a driving force.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, I think so. I will still be around climbing in like 10-20 years, I think, for
Yeah,
sure.
like probably all the way until you can't even move, right?
Yeah, until my grave.
Yeah. Climb into your grave. Yeah.
Climb
So
out of it.
yeah. Okay. So we'll just close it here. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a part 2 if there are more requests.
Yeah, I hope this takes off.
Like your insights, you know. It was really interesting.
Looking forward to seeing more people's perspectives.
Yeah, like actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, right, is also like that disconnect that we were talking about.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to close it, you know. Maybe there are some things that certain people that the new climbers will want to hear about, but they never dared to approach.
Yeah.
I can just be the representative of them and like hear your views. Yeah.
On that note, I hope like if anybody has questions when they see me in the gym,
Please
I
go and
hope
ask.
please. I'm more than happy to answer your questions and help you in your climbing journey.
Yeah. Super nice guy. Approved.